Back during 2016, I remember Tetsuya Nomura stated that Sora would become a Keyblade master within Kingdom Hearts 3, and this would be marked by his ability to use Keyblade transformations. As we all know, Sora gets the ability to use Keyblade transformations right after Olympus, so right when his clothes change, he gains Keyblade transformations. Well, let's talk about this more in depth because, as we know, no scene in Kingdom Hearts 3 labels Sora a Keyblade Master. Even when he gets the clothes change, that's more so said to be something of a, oh, for this new journey, you'll need new clothes to protect you against new threats. That's what it feels more like. So, without a scene that specifically states Sora is a Keyblade Master, is there enough within Kingdom Hearts 3 to actually name Sora Keyblade Master, not only for ourselves, but also to support what Tetsuya Nomura stated about the moment his clothes changes, that's when he becomes a Keyblade Master. So let's talk about this more in depth because there's two different ways that we can go about this conversation that we can actually put together to say that yes, indeed, Sora is a Keyblade Master within Kingdom Hearts 3. So our first discussion has to be pulled from Yen Sid's version of the Mark of Mastery exam. So Yen Sid's version of the Mark of Mastery exam goes a little something like this. Sora and Riku were to traverse 7 different worlds to find 7 different sleeping keyholes and revert those worlds back into the realm of awakening or the original realm that they came from. And also, while doing this, they would be traversing through the shroud of darkness that covers these worlds still, meaning that they'll be able to go through the darkness to be able to get to hearts to save hearts, saving hearts from despair, which would lead to them being able to retain the ability of the power of awakening to be able to save their friends. So, with that being said, Sora has shown within Kingdom Hearts 3 that he does have this ability. Of course, this ability was asleep within him for a while, but once he had to save Ventus in order for Ventus to be able to save Aqua, being able to break through her barrier, of course, we see that Sora does once again retain this ability from his time during the Mark of Mastery exam in Dream Drop Distance. So with him retaining that ability, we know that he definitely should pass Yen Sid's marks, but he actually even goes farther beyond the expectations of Master Yen Sid, in which he's able to change the flow of time and the fate of those around him entirely. So, I mean, it's crazy how strong Sora actually wound up getting after being able to once again call upon this ability. It's it's pretty fucking epic, bro. So, I think right there we can give a check to Sora actually being a Keyblade Master. So that's one. On the flip side, we have Master Eraqus's Mark of Mastery exam, in which his Mark of Mastery exam was based around whether or not his pupils had control over the light and darkness within themselves. This control of the light and darkness within themselves was put to test against the light orbs, which were which that test was hindered by Master Xehanort, basically. And then we also had, of course, Aqua versus Terra, two characters who were to use the light side of their powers to have a friendly sparring match, and regardless of how far this match went, they were to not tap into the darkness within themselves, showing that they had control of the darkness within themselves, if that makes sense. So basically, not allowing aggression and anger to build up through conflict that darkness started to pour out of them, basically. So, with that being said, we do know that Sora within Kingdom Hearts 3 does have a certain situation that happens to him in which we get to see that he does have, in fact, control over the light and the darkness. Because Rage Form, which we see throughout the game, is made canon in a cutscene in which Master Xehanort uses the X-Blade to revert Sora into his Rage Form, effectively siphoning off all of the light within his body. So he was just reverted to nothing more than a being of darkness, and what a surprise, Sora still had sentient control over that form of himself. So basically, he was basically a heartless, basically, and he still had full control over himself. So with that being said, I think that does push for him to be able to pass Master Eraqus's expectations of what a master is as well. But it goes even further once again than Master Eraqus's expectations, much like Yen Sid's, when we see Sora use this darkness to reverse that effect that Master Xehanort put onto him back onto Master Xehanort. So basically, he not only could control the darkness within himself, but he could use his darkness to pull the light out of other characters and put it back into himself, reverting him back to normal, and then putting Xehanort in the position of being basically a Heartless. But even with that, we see Master Xehanort is another character who also has this same exact level of control of having all of his light siphoned out and just being reverted to a being of darkness. So basically, Sora has about the same level of control of light and darkness in himself as Master Xehanort fucking has. Crazy. Crazy. So I think that pretty much effectively answers the question and build upon what Tetsuya Nomura said back in 2016 about Sora pretty much being a Keyblade master the minute he gets his new clothes and can use Keyblade transformations. I know a lot of people were looking for a scene in which Sora was actually named a Keyblade master, which is why people still question it. But of course, Sora is in fact a Keyblade master, in my own personal humble opinion. But as you guys know, go ahead and share with me your thoughts on what you think about, of course, Sora being a Keyblade master. Do you think these two pieces of information and these two pieces of evidence are enough to suggest that Sora is a Keyblade master? Or are you still going to be waiting on a scene in which Yen Sid actually names him to be a master? This has been your boy Mozzie. Don't forget to do a little A-class gaming, and everything you do, don't forget to keep it A-class. I'll catch you guys in the comments section, and peace the heck out.